we are here at Podcast Movement. So what is what is some advice that you would give to someone just starting out?
Shoot everything.
No, there's no breaks yet.
No, I just it would be twofold. Shoot everything and don't second guess yourself.
That's a good one.
Because usually the best things are the things you don't think were the best things. You'll look back on footage from a week ago and say, that was great. Like, that was a great interview. Or that was a funny moment. Like, let's put that out. It's the hidden gems that you didn't realize in the moment. Well, and you have expectations from the shoot. You're like, I have to capture this thing, the kiss, the whatever. And it's the stuff that happened around it that ends up being the most magical.
Yeah, for sure.
In photography, it's the same thing with shooting content. It's often the things that if you trip over yourself. So don't trip over yourself.
Yeah, don't do it.
Consistency. That's the best thing is the key. Consistency is key. If they don't have the content every week, they're not getting the content every week. I mean, it's kind of as simple as that. I mean, if you're cutting up your podcast and you're putting them in reels and you're putting it on YouTube and Spotify and wherever else you need to do, they're in that feed every week and people are getting fed that. It's all about promotion, and if people are, if it's in their face, they're more likely to think about it. And if they're thinking about it, they're more likely to click on it. It's all about those small instances of just scrolling on your phone, and if it seems fun, they're not going to stay there. If it seems fun, they're going to click, they're going to subscribe, they're going to see what's up. So all about consistency and staying up there. And the more content for people to discover as a backlog, I'd say the better as well. It's almost like a smaller streaming service that people discover, especially when you find a podcast that's like 10 years old, that's really good. Back, you have all this content for you to discover. That's a good feeling.
Well, if it's not taken off as fast as you hoped, I would say stick with it. It's a slow burn, and momentum is something that builds slowly at first, and then it's a snowball going down the hill. So trust the process and enjoy the ride.
The technology part overwhelmed me. Older guy, but I've been doing all this for 25, 30 years. I would say try to get a hold of somebody who has done it before you, and that can kind of get you on top of their shoulders and give you the vision so that you don't have to get in the mire and find out all the things that go wrong. Now that I'm part of this, I'm like, I made it too tough for myself.
Yeah.
So hopefully that helps.
I love it. All right.
So don't be afraid to fail, right? Don't get afraid to fail, because you are going to be terrible. Your first episodes that you do are going to be the worst episodes in your entire catalog, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Because you're the one that's learning about it. You should have somebody in mind. You may tinker with that. You may change that a little bit. You may find out that it appeals more to this kind of person than the person that you thought you were talking to. And you can adapt to that over time. So I had an elderly neighbor who passed away in the past year, and every conversation you had with him, he was a beloved history teacher in the small town where I live. Every conversation you would have with him, he would end with, always keep going. That's just what he said instead of goodbye. That's the answer. Always keep going. If you are true to yourself, you're making the kind of show that you would like to listen to or watch, you'll find your audience, and your audience may never get huge. You may not even get car payment money, much less rent money out of it, but you will have a dedicated audience that truly loves your show. And you can't do that in any other medium. It's beautiful.
Again, beyond what I've just said, marketing onto other podcasts, being a guest on other podcasts in your genre, I mean, that is clearly one of the best things. Cross-promoting, a lot of people, there was the whole thing in the election and people came out and go, the right side, there's this, corporate conspiracy where they built up these bro podcasts. No, they didn't. I know the podcasters, and I know Joe Rogan, I know those folks, and it's just, as Joe said, we're just friends going on each other's podcasts. There's All Things Comedy. The podcasters go on each other's podcasts around Bill Burr. And then there's Your Mom's House. It's around Tom Segura and all his friends. And all those shows grew from being guests on each other's podcasts. And I've seen that work in fantasy football podcasts, unique groups where they go and guest on other people's. I've seen it work for Doctor Who and sci-fi podcasts where people go around to other podcasts and have the other podcasters on. So it's finding your niche, and reaching out to them. And you know, don't look at your niche as competition. Look at your niche as your community. And if you embrace your community, go out and bring them on. Don't ask to be a guest. Ask them to be a guest. They'll ask you to be a guest. Others will ask you to be a guest once they see you're getting guests on.
Yeah.
So, you know, go out, bring them on, and then the other thing is go out and find bloggers that aren't podcasting that are in your community. Bring them as guests and edit them really well so they sound brilliant. Especially if you're bringing a blogger on who's not used to talking, they're going to feel self-conscious about how they sounded. They're going to have a lot of ums, uhs, you knows. Edit them out. Send them the link to your interview with them. When they hear how brilliant they sound because you took the time to edit them, they'll link to it, they'll promote it. But if they listen to themselves back and they think they're stammering or stuttering and they feel they sound foolish, they're not going to tell anyone.
Number one, build a better why, or why did you even get started, right? Was it passion? Was it so you can make money? Rethink that why, make it bigger than who you are, right? When you do that, it's much easier to create the content because now somebody else is holding you accountable. That bigger mission of yours. And the reason I keep producing, releasing an episode a day on my podcast, Hacks and Hobbies, is because I want to teach my children, the 4, 15, 10, 7, and 3, that anything is possible if you might put your mind to it. The success comes from the boring work. So keep doing the stuff so that you can grow and, bring motivation to others.
So beyond the why and everything, also don't compare yourself to other people. You're not Joe Rogan. I'm sorry. It's going to take you time. And they say it takes, well, I heard today, 100 episodes before you really get it.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
so you're learning. Like the first couple episodes are just not good.
Yeah, they're going to be trash. Your first couple episodes are going to be trash. So just forget those. And
Yeah, even though they're up there because you need, you need the playlist. But yeah,
Right.
Don't start at episode 1 when you're first starting it. Yeah, I started like
Oh
episode.
no, I've done that before. I'm like, oh, this was terrible. Let me go to their
like 10th, 30th, episode. All right, that makes sense.
I would say probably, are you having enough fun? Because, and even if you're a business, it doesn't matter. Are you enjoying the content creation side? Because a lot of times when you get frustrated, that shows. And so I would say question what you're doing, question the format. And so if maybe you're doing only interviews and the interviews are really long and you're not enjoying them, change it up.
Yeah.
Be okay with like changing it up and bring more fun of the element of like, hey, I want to try the solo shows. So maybe you do want more solos. Like my podcast is exclusively solo until the point where I was like, actually want to have people. And then I was like, okay, how can this content still solve a problem for my audience? But just the format is just slightly different. And I think that that's really important. People don't allow themselves to have fun and change themselves. They're waiting for someone to like grant them permission.
Yeah.
So you can do it. You can do it. You're
your show.
You're in charge. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I would advise.
4 things that you need to focus on, right? And I don't care if you just started your podcast or you have been doing 8 years of your podcast, or you just got the 5 episodes in and like you're struggling. Oh my gosh.
It's like
only
I'm like
25
there.
subscribers.
It's like my mom watches it, and that's about it. I feel like, but we're getting there. We're getting there. That's why we're here.
So you need to write down on a sheet these 4 things. What is the name of your show? What is it about? Who is it for? And what value do they take away from it? It's very, very simple, but once you have those things nailed down to a science where you can quickly say who it is that you are, what you do, and why people should listen to your show and what they're going to learn from it, it really helps you focus and craft your show to be specifically for someone, rather than trying to throw spaghetti at the wall and see which one of the noodles sticks, right?
Right. Yeah.
You're trying to really focus in and give somebody something that they're going to take away from it. Because how many times have you watched a show or anything where you're like, immediately forgot it as soon as I turned it off and got distracted? I've got ADHD, so I do that a lot.
Yeah, right? I know. It's like, I'm going to play mine on my phone.
But the ones I always come back to are the ones that I got something out of. I'm going to subscribe. I'm going to come back and listen to this as much as I possibly can,
Yeah,
so
for sure.
That's how you do that, is continuously craft yourself, reinvent yourself, and now analyze yourself of, is my name still consistent with my brand? is what it about, still what is consistent with who I want to serve, okay, and who is that, and then what value are they taking away from it? So those 4 things, yeah.